Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. My name is Shakira. Obviously by the title, you kind of know why you clicked this video. You want to know how to get flawless foundation. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. I have this shadow thing happening on my chin. I apologize. It is the sun and the blinds and all that stuff. I just want to point out that these 5 things I obviously did not come up with. These are things that you can find all over the internet. You can find all over YouTube. But I'm just going to share them for the people who are subscribed to my channel and the people who are just, kind of getting into the makeup game and kind of want to know, like, how do I get flawless foundation? Because I know when I started doing makeup, to me, I thought flawless was the stuff that you saw, like, on professional photographers do and all that stuff. But really, it's simply not all about just, pictures being photoshopped and pictures, being enhanced and putting on filters and all that stuff. I think to get flawless foundation and to get a flawless face, it takes a lot more than, enhancing it with different camera features. So if you guys are all curious to find out how to get flawless foundation, keep on watching. Okay, so number 1. You need to know what your skin type is. Your skin type, believe it or not, is very important when it comes to achieving flawless foundation because there are so many different skin types out there. There is normal skin, there's oily skin, there's dry skin, there's sensitive skin, and there's combination skin. Like, those are the 5 main skin types that are out there. And once you know what your skin type is, then you can apply the products based on what your skin type is. So I'm going to run through some of the 5 skin types and just kind of, share with you guys a little bit of, some information about each skin type. When you have normal skin, you're not too dry and you're not too oily. You have very few imperfections and your pores aren't really that visible. When you have oily skin, this name says it all. You are oily, you have shine around your cheek area and your T-zone area and your chin. Some people get oily around their nostril area, and when you have oily skin, you find yourself throughout the day, you might have to pat yourself. You kind of just look like an overall kind of grease ball. When you have dry skin, your skin just, feels itchy, and sometimes you find skin flaking off, and when you put on makeup or you put on foundation, if you had like a breakout or something, it's usually dry around that area. When you have combination skin, you have some parts of your face that are dry and you have some parts of your face that are oily. So some people get oily in different areas on their face when they have combination skin. So some people get oily around their cheek area, but then their forehead is dry or their chin is dry, or some people get dry around the nostril area as well. They just have different parts on their face that either get oily or get dry, so they kind of have both. So it's called combination skin. When you have sensitive skin, that just means that you have to be more diligent as to know what your triggers are when it comes to having sensitive skin. That means, the products that you put on your face, you kind of have to know what it is that you might be allergic to, or what it is that you might be more sensitive to in a way when you have sensitive skin. And that's more like acne prone skin, people who are prone to getting breakouts and pimples and all of that stuff. So you kind of have to know what your triggers are. So the second thing when it comes to achieving flawless foundation is the foundation, obviously, that you put on your face. There are a number of different foundations that you can use, and there are a number of different foundation that is geared towards specific types of skin. So you have liquid and cream foundation, and liquid and cream foundation is good for normal to dry skin, you know what I mean? It's good for, everyone in a sense. They also have tinted moisturizers, and tinted moisturizers are good for normal skin, for those people who don't have that many imperfections going on and they don't need that much coverage. So tinted moisturizers are good for that reason. They also have powder foundation, and they also have mattifying and oil-free foundations as well. So for those people who are oily or find themselves, having to blot throughout the day, a mattifying and an oil-free foundation would be good for your skin. So definitely know what your skin type is, and also know what foundation will go great for your skin type. Okay, so the third thing when it comes to achieving a flawless foundation is having the tools to do that, to do such thing. And the two most important things obviously are having a brush, a foundation brush, and having a beauty sponge or a beauty blender or any type of sponge. So like a foundation brush is really important because it helps to distribute the makeup or the foundation on your face. Beauty blender is also very important. Some people like to just use a beauty blender strictly to apply their foundation, or some people feel that, you know, use a brush first and then use a beauty blender. Whatever works for you. For a beauty blender or a beauty sponge, it's very important that you dampen your beauty sponge or your beauty blender. Very, very important, because you don't want to use a dry beauty blender because it won't distribute the makeup, it won't move the makeup across your face, it won't look flawless. And for those of you who do have dry skin, you don't want to be trying to move makeup on your face with a dry beauty blender if you already have dry skin. I hope that makes sense. But it's very important that you do wet your beauty blender, make sure it's a little bit dampened, and make sure it you know, has a little bit of bounce back, so when you bounce it across your face, you know that it's moving the makeup across your face as well. So the fourth thing when it comes to achieving a flawless foundation is make sure you have a skincare routine. And that should have probably been the first thing that I mentioned. It is very important that you have a skincare routine when it comes to achieving flawless foundation. First of all, knowing what your skin type is and then getting the products to incorporate in your skincare, that's how you get flawless foundation. For example, not everyone is going to be able to use a skincare product that is geared towards everyone. Because some people have dry skin products, some products are made or geared towards that person who has dry skin. So someone who has, you know, combination skin or a sensitive skin, that product might not necessarily work for them. If anything, it might break them out. So knowing what your skin type is and then, you know, applying a skincare routine to your personal skin type will get your makeup game on point. If you are, you know, in the middle, if you have normal skin, or, you know, things don't really bug you that much, or things don't really like irritate your skin that much, you know, you can get away with that. But if you have, you know, problematic skin, I guess I could say, you know, some products aren't gonna work for you. So figure out what your skin type is and get a skincare routine, so that at the end of the day, when you take off that full face of makeup, you know that you are using products to clean your face that is going to work for your skin, that's going to balance your skin back out to its normal, to its normalness. It's very important that you have a cleanser, exfoliate your face 2 to 3 times a week. Have a toner. Toner is very, very, very important, especially for us oily folks. I'm an oily person, so having a toner is super, super, super important. Having a serum or some type of, natural oils is also good, and also making sure you have a moisturizer as well. Those things are very, very, very important, and everyone should always try to incorporate some type of skincare routine, whether or not you exfoliate, you know, 2 or 3 times a week, or if you exfoliate every day. You shouldn't exfoliate every day. Whether or not you exfoliate every day, but everyone should, you know, have a cleanser. Everyone should have a good moisturizer. You don't necessarily have to do serums or oils or any of that stuff. But, you know, start off small, start off with a good cleanser and start off with a good moisturizer, and you're good. You are good. You're good. And then you can just, you know, see what works for you after that, and just go from there. Okay, and the fifth and final thing that I think is very important when it comes to achieving flawless foundation is primer. Making sure you have a good primer is very, very important, because a primer is a barrier between your skin and the foundation. It protects your face from the foundation or anything else that you might be putting on your skin, so you don't just have direct makeup going on your skin and blush and powders and all that stuff, because sometimes those things could be, you know, harmful depending on what you use to your direct skin, to your direct face. So you want to make sure there's this barrier, and having a good primer that works for you is very, very, very important. And they have different types of primers for normal skin, dry skin, oily skin, combination skin, sensitive skin. They have primers for all those. So that's why it's very important for you to know what your skin type is, so that when you get a primer, your primer will work for your skin type as well. So if you have normal skin, you want to look for a primer that will prolong your makeup and a primer that has SPF in it. If you have oily skin, you want to look for a primer that's obviously mattifying. And one thing I do want to say about mattifying, it's actually random. When I first got into the makeup game and when I first started doing makeup, I had no idea what mattifying was. I had no idea what matte was when I first started doing makeup, and I would always watch YouTube videos and they kept saying that word. I'm like, what does that even mean? So for those of you out there who don't know what matte means, matte just basically means dull, flat, or without color. I'm reading it right here just to make sure I'm saying it right. That's basically what matte means. So if you have oily skin, that's how you want your face to look. You don't want to look shiny or any of that stuff. You just want to look matte. You just want to be without shine, basically. You don't want to look like bacon at the end of the night with all the grease on your face. So I just thought I would throw that in there for those of you who don't know what mattifying means or what matte means and all that stuff. So if you have dry skin, obviously you want to go for a hydrating and a creamy primer that's going to work for your dry skin. You know, you don't want to use something that's going to dry out your skin. You don't want to use a primer, like for example, you don't want to use a mattifying primer, because a mattifying primer is keeping me from being too oily. And if you have dry skin, you obviously don't want to use the mattifying primer. You want to use a primer that's going to hydrate your skin. You know, it's creating that barrier, but it's also hydrating your naturally dry skin. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And if you have combination skin, you know, it's really hard, because you can either try to find a primer that does both, or you get two primers and put it in the areas that are dry and put the other one in the areas that are oily. And I know that's kind of like annoying, and like nobody really wants to do that, but you know, you can always find a primer that does both, you know, that is good at hydrating your skin and good at, you know, combating the oils and stuff like that. If you have sensitive skin, it's good to stay away from things that are too fragrancy, sometimes they have primers that just smell way too good, and sometimes that can be a trigger that could possibly break out your face. So go for a primer that is, you know, low in fragrance, and that'll still help you do what a primer does, because you don't want to have breakouts based on your primer and all that stuff. A primer is supposed to protect your face, and if you have sensitive skin and you use a primer that's gonna not help with any of that, then it just kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. You know, those are just kind of some things that, you know, I've picked up along the way of learning about makeup. I'm not saying that I know everything, but based on, you know, what I've researched and what I've known about, you know, applying foundation to my face and having a proper skincare routine and all that stuff. Getting into makeup, you know, I made sure I knew what my skin type was, and then geared that towards everything else, you know, having a skincare routine and getting primers that'll work for me. So I hope that was very helpful to someone out there. I know they have a lot of videos on here, so, you know, I'm not going to be the first one to be sharing this information with you, but I thought I would just, you know, give you my take on it, give you my experience on it, and if someone learns something from this video, that would make me super happy, because obviously I'm just trying to share all these new experiences with all my subscribers and with the people that follow me, or if anyone who is just at all just curious and want a friendly face to tell them I'm that person. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of me. And in the future, I do plan on doing, more, introduction to makeup type videos. Little by little. I just want to make sure that I get my information right before I share it with you here. So it does kind of take a little bit of planning and researching, but I'm definitely gonna do, more, little videos like this, where I share with you, little makeup tips, little makeup tricks. So those are all coming. And obviously I'm always, uploading to my other playlists, my lifestyle playlist once in a while, and, my new playlist of, what's in my Ipsy Glam bag and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining me today on this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on my next upload. Bye.